Philippines Chapter hands over 120 prefabricated houses it built for quake victims in Kananga. Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia established a vegetarian food company to raise funds to support DaAi TV Indonesia. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Sue. Thank you for joining us. We begin our program today with stories of Tzu Chi volunteers reaching out to people in need in different countries. Tzu Chi volunteers in Jordan assist Syrian refugees by giving them living stipends as well as medical care. Among the people who have received timely assistance from Tzu Chi is Muhammad, whose right hand was shot by a sniper. Thanks to Tzu Chi's assistance, he can now freely use his right hand again. Let's take a look.
His arm could move here, but now look.
Mohammed's right hand was injured by a sniper. Before he met Tzu Chi, he had 12 surgeries.
The doctor transplanted a tendon from his leg to his arm to fix it.
Mohammed is thankful to Tzu Chi because Tzu Chi has been supplying his family's living stipends since 2013 and also helping receive surgery so he can move his arm. He hangs Tzu Chi's ornaments on walls. Ahmed also had surgery to cure his foot injury with Tzu Chi's help.
13 operations. Last time we mentioned 6. Now 13 operations.
The medical care also freed them from pain and illnesses. Mr. Sada has 4 boys, but 2 of them have mobility issues, so Tzu Chi volunteers visit them often. This time, they notice his niece has an eye problem, so they help her too.
The eye can go to the correct direction. And that's why you need the eyeglass.
Tzu Chi volunteers do not just give them goods at every visit, but help them solve their problems. The volunteers came to this school for handicapped children to find out more about the transportation cost, so they can help more children study here.
Turning our focus to the Philippines. In the aftermath of a massive earthquake that struck central Philippines in July, Tzu Chi has promised to build prefabricated houses in Kananga. Recently, Tzu Chi held a handover ceremony for these prefabricated houses, with many local residents seizing the occasion to express their deepest gratitude to Tzu Chi. Let's join them there.
They're very big heart, no? Kasi nagyolanda na kami, ngayon naglindol na naman ulit kami, so andito pa rin sila for us.
Back in July, a magnitude 6.5 earthquake damaged many houses in Leyte of central Philippines. Tzu Chi is handing over 120 prefabricated houses it promised to build in Kananga of Leyte province.
This is more than a handover ceremony. We felt the sincere care and selfless love of the Tzu Chi volunteers. Even if the prefabricated houses are disassembled, Tzu Chi's love will always remain.
So I think kahit mawala na yung
I'm glad that I was chosen by Tzu Chi Foundation to live in the prefabricated house.
I want to thank Tzu Chi volunteers for building these houses for us.
Volunteers from Manila, Tacloban, Cebu, and Ormoc are also witnessing this moment of celebration.
Actually, we are sharing with the Catholic Church their teaching and the teaching of Buddhism, and I think it works out very nicely naman. There's no conflict because all religion naman is teaching everybody to do good deeds.
Tzu Chi has built prefabricated houses for us. We've prepared some food and also made donations to help quake victims in Mexico. The amount is not much, but it is everyone's thoughts that count.
Pakiramdam po namin maganda po kasi yung pagkasama namin, maganda yung pagkasama namin dyan.
Tzu Chi volunteers often lend a helping hand to those in need, no matter where disasters strike. Since Typhoon Haiyan 4 years ago, the love Tzu Chi volunteers have shown to Tacloban residents has deeply touched many of the Chinese Filipinos in the area. Many of them have now begun walking the Tzu Chi path because of such love. Let's take a look.
Without a ball to play with, the children used shoes to play a game of dodgeball. After Typhoon Haiyan, NGO organizations built homes for the survivors. In the aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan, Tzu Chi Foundation from Taiwan built prefabricated homes for the residents of Palo in Leyte province. It's been 4 years, and we can see how Filipino citizens are really tenacious. So many have begun to set up small businesses at their residential home. This is what the locals call Sari Sari Store, which is similar to a convenience store. It sells everything the nearby neighbors might need, such as cooking oil, rice, salt, sugar, candy, and of course, the things Filipinos must drink every day, instant coffee.
还有这个菲律宾人每天都一定要喝的即溶咖啡。
Checking on the building progress of the prefab homes is Jose Yu, whose store was robbed after the storm. Many Chinese Filipinos like him have left this area, but he chose to stick around.
We opened our store so that many people can begin to restart their life once more. This way our workers can come back to work to make money. With their salary, they can buy things and help stimulate the economy.
At the Tzu Chi event for Haiyan survivors, Jose Yo, who is among those leading, he cannot stop tearing up.
Master Junyan is a big Sunni, and her love for us feels like the love of a mother. I'm so touched by it, that's why I cried.
4 years ago, his good friend Johnny Wu invited him to a Tzu Chi event. When they saw the group of Tzu Chi volunteers from overseas helping their people, they vowed to donate $1 million each within 2 years.
We still have the ability to do that because we are more fortunate than others. Although we have lost a lot, basically we are still safe and still here.
This natural disaster has the two friends realize the best blessings in life come from giving selflessly. This land development, which is in between the airport and the city, is helping Jose and Johnny fulfill a wish.
It's hard to get things started because we don't have a place of our own. We can't do many things due to a lack of space. We can only rent a place. So I think we should have an office of our own.
In his heart, the future of this open space is to be the future home of Tzu Chi in Tacloban.
At the UN Climate Change Conference 2017, which takes place in Bonn, Germany, representatives from Fiji have set up a pavilion to display indigenous culture and handicrafts. Through the display, they hope to call attention to how global warming is affecting island countries. Let's learn more about how global warming is affecting Fiji. Global warming has direct impact on island countries, including Fiji, located in the South Pacific Ocean.
The Fiji Pavilion is displaying its indigenous culture and traditional handicrafts to representatives from different countries. As sea levels rise due to global warming, traditional arts might eventually disappear.
Tapa cloth is a bark cloth made in Fiji. The dye is extracted from plant seeds. This traditional fabrication is facing the threat of disappearing.
When the tapa is not grown big enough because it's affected by the weather. It's not much rain, it's keeping hot, it's affected by things we earn our life.
These indigenous dances are more of a performance, as they're also a call for help for people from Fiji.
Fiji is here to run the COP23, because all Fiji islands, we are affecting us, the climate change. Especially the smaller island, and we're asking for help. We must stand together and work together and fight for the climate change.
Global warming is affecting island countries and threatening the human race. To fight global warming, we cannot just rely on government policies, but we must take concrete actions to make a difference. support DaAi TV Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia founded a company to produce vegetarian instant noodles and promote vegetarianism. While promoting these products, the volunteers won the support of many local residents. Let's take a look.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
30 major shareholders cut the ribbon to inaugurate the beginning of a company that produces vegetarian food.
Dari laba itu kita akan salurkan juga untuk
The profits from selling DaAi noodles will support DaAi TV because DaAi TV programs are educational.
Dalam hal itu juga di pendidikan ya dan juga untuk sosial juga.
When there's a good TV program, you want to promote it. It's the same with good food. DaAi noodles do not have any MSG or preservatives. You can eat them dry or in soup. When Tzu Chi volunteers promote them in a park, some people immediately support it.
I heard they're healthy instant noodles. I want to try them. It also allows me to make donations.
To vegetarians, this product is considered healthy food. I hope you can promote them to supermarkets so we can buy them more easily and also become healthy.
Tzu Chi volunteers invite the public to become vegetarian and also do good deeds. The responses are enthusiastic.
In Taiwan, to learn about Tzu Chi's international disaster relief work preparation and recycling practices, a group of foreign media professionals had a tour of Tzu Chi Nehu grounds. These media professionals were amazed to see so many elderly recycling volunteers work to protect the environment, and one of them even said that he wished he could bring such a volunteer system back to his home country.
Early in the morning, media professionals from various countries arrive at Tzu Chi Nehu grounds.
From our office, we'll have a lot of A4 paper.
Taking photos and notes, they're surprised to learn about how the recycling volunteers work to protect the environment. Besides listening to the briefing, they also interview the recycling volunteers through translation.
I think the most interesting is that there are working volunteers here, which is good, and there are old people, which is good for them because they have something to do instead of sitting home, which is very helpful. And I just wonder if it is possible to copy it in the Czech Republic or anywhere in Europe.
Passing through the hallway that displays posters on recycling work, they find volunteers who process PET bottles. They're amazed to see how skillful the volunteers are. They're even more amazed to see how the volunteers prepare eco-friendly blankets and the display of products made from PET bottles.
Impressed with the products that are available here, the recycled products from bags to suit, even shoes product.
The fact that they're using them for disasters pretty close to home, Mexico, Texas, and other places is something I would have never thought of.
Through this visit, the media professionals have learned about how Tzu Chi volunteers carry out the recycling mission. Hopefully, they will spread these wholesome stories, raising the awareness of environmental protection.
In our continuing series about Sierra Leone, today we take a look at the conditions of some underprivileged people. There's a community called Polio Community in Grafton, where many physically challenged residents live. Even though they lack funding and donations, they still work hard to overcome difficulties. They have even opened a school, giving students the chance to pursue a brighter future.
Vice Chairman, Polio Challenge Association. The association is being manned and managed by ourselves with the polio victims.
We not get water, only the rain water now we drink. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult. When it approach 7 o'clock, we're not able to work out freely because when the place dark, we not even get light facility. We just there for let we exist because we not much amended, but we not get no good privilege now.
The main difficulties here is we don't have any donor support to take care of us and our children.
Plenty of family be abandoned. Some of who will not able to go further with education.
That is why we decide to get our own school here.
I'm the head teacher for Maria Primary School. This school was founded since 2002. As you have all seen around, the school is not yet completed. Most of them are disabled teachers. Some are able teachers. When we go outside here to find job, they don't give us job. They say we will not be able to climb the steps. But because we don't want to sit like this, to sit for the rest of the day doing anything, or go to the street to beg, we don't like that. So that is why we established this type of institution, to gather children and teach them. They will become our future leaders tomorrow.
The orphanage we formed after the Rebel War, and the mommy opened the orphanage home. We are part of the association. For the needs we want, one medical facility, the pikin they die because of medical facility. Two, again, of course, we staple food, more of rice. We pikin and not get sufficient rice in the home.
But the witch and self bed and Lena. And then as for that woman, they under the orphanage, and that can let her. Another witch for myself. When the need of this place here now, especially this road. Another number one, because it's again for ride, for camp. Then two, the education of Upikin there. Upikin there, if you see we not get money for support and not for the Upikin there. They don't want to learn up to college level, they don't want to. Because I'm not able for their college money, go school, they drive them at school. So that's the only. So the train of feeding food, with lack of food there. We thank God, this man when we can give you some food, then I have my own this live inside it. So we thank God for that.
Due to increasing economic disparity, gaps between urban and rural areas have been worsened. Students in remote locations in Taiwan usually have less access to resources. Natural disasters such as flooding associated with Typhoon Morakot led many people to lose everything overnight. To help these areas recover, an arts charity organization formed in 2010 has gone to different schools throughout Taiwan to teach art to more than 200 students. The leader of this group, Zhang Tianxiong, led 6 photographers to visit Kaohsiung Shanling Elementary School to teach them about photography and ways to capture moments in everyday life. Later, a book of these children's photographic work has been printed, bound, and sold to illustrate the unlimited potential of these children.
原型物品观察，其实有时候你们要找的是，你们学校在学校里面，你觉得哪一个最值得你怀念的？
这是我拍的照片。
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 For students in remote areas, they have fewer educational resources, which means that they have less contact with arts and culture. For these young children to make a photo book, they really feel a sense of accomplishment and feel that they have their own stage.
站着看，蹲着看，来，我们这样蹲着看，往上看。
The interviews that I conducted after Typhoon Morakot caused me to leave the news industry. Because I had just seen too many calamities, I found I wasn't doing anything other than recording and distributing this news, And I thought that there must be another way for me to do something to help them.
你看，书的尽头是不是一个圆？你有没有看到？有没有啊？你有看到还有什么哪里有圆？你看相机上面还有哪一个是圆？按钮。对，哎，还有呢？还有，再看，慢慢看。手表。哎，对，好，来这边。
Previously, when one wanted to study photography, they would purchase an SLR camera, but they don't even have the basic equipment. But now the cell phone is so readily available and simple and easy to use. It's a long drive from Taipei to come here, but every time we finish such a thing, we actually feel quite good. You can see some of the original inspiration from them and some of the same feelings from when I was a kid.
I used to think that photography was just taking photo directly from the front, but now I know that I can shoot from many different angles to make a better picture.
I used to just see a stone, but now when I see something, I really think about the object.
看看什么东西。
我看看，你想要拍直立的，是不是？所以，因为这个东西它比较适合直立的画面，对不对？嗯。拿起摄影机。
Originally, the goal of picking out the camera is to make some money, but here I pick out the camera for a totally different reason.
的意义是不一样的。这样子够吗？还是要再大一点？够。拍下去。OK。
I myself have 2 daughters, so when I work with them, they are like my own children. I hope to help them gain access to more resources so they can build more confidence and joy through photography.
摄影能够得到快乐。要做这本书的原因是因为
The reason for this book is that if we are able to teach children with the least access to such resources and give them self-confidence and the skills to produce this photo book, then in the future we will be able to use this same model to teach other children.
带进来给孩子。
In Thailand, after Tzu Chi volunteers held 7-8 supply distributions for flood victims in Ayutthaya, they returned to Banpa to hold a tea gathering for the residents. At the occasion, many government officials and local residents signed up to volunteer with Tzu Chi. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.